In the 7th century CE, the city of Mecca was the beating heart of Arabia. It was a vibrant hub of trade, poetry, and ancient traditions, dominated by the powerful Quraysh tribe. Their world was built on idols, ancestry, and a rigid social order. But a storm was brewing, one that would challenge everything they knew. A man named Muhammad, a respected member of their community, began to preach a radical new message: the worship of one God, Allah, and the equality of all believers. This message of Islam threatened the very foundations of Quraysh power and wealth, and their response was swift and brutal. The early Muslims faced relentless persecution. They were mocked, boycotted, tortured, and even murdered for their beliefs. The powerful Quraysh saw them as a dangerous cult, a threat to their pagan deities and their lucrative pilgrimage trade. For these vulnerable believers, Mecca became a cage. Their prophet, Muhammad, sought a solution, a way to protect his followers, to allow their nascent faith to breathe and grow. He looked beyond the familiar sands of Arabia, to a land spoken of with reverence. Abyssinia was a powerful Christian kingdom across the Red Sea. A just and pious king, Najashi, ruled it. Stories of his fairness and protection of strangers reached Mecca and far beyond. In 615 CE, the prophet instructed a group of his most vulnerable followers to seek refuge there. This was the first Hijrah, the migration, not just of people, but of hope. Led by figures like Uthman ibn Affan and Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, they arrived in a foreign land, seeking sanctuary. They were weary, but hopeful. Hopeful that in this Christian kingdom, they would find the peace denied to them in their homeland. Back in Mecca, the Quraysh were furious. The escape of the Muslims to Abyssinia was not just an affront, it was a public relations disaster. It suggested that their persecution was so severe that people had to flee their own land. They feared the Muslims would gain allies, even military support. They dispatched their two most shrewd diplomats, Amr ibn al-Oz and Abdullah ibn Abi Rabi'ah, to Abyssinia. Their mission: to bribe King Najashi, to poison his mind against the Muslim refugees, and to demand their extradition back to Mecca, to certain punishment, perhaps even death. They carried rich gifts, symbols of their power and persuasion. Before King Najashi, Amr ibn al-As presented his case. With honeyed words, he painted the Muslims as renegades, deserters from their own people, who had invented a new religion that neither followed Quraysh traditions nor Christian scriptures. He said, "O king, there is a group of foolish youngsters who have deserted their people and have not embraced your religion either. They have invented a new religion, unknown to us and to you. We have been sent to you by the nobles of their parents and uncles to ask you to return them, for they know best their shortcomings." Najashi listened patiently. His advisors, wary of these newcomers, urged him to heed the Quraysh. They were, after all, powerful, and these Muslims were just a small group of exiles. The easy choice would have been to hand them over, but Najashi was no ordinary king. King Najashi then turned to the Muslims. "What is this religion for which you have forsaken your people, and which you have not entered into my religion, nor into any of these other religions?" Ja'far ibn Abi Talib stepped forward. Calmly and with great dignity, he began to speak. "O king, we were a people in a state of ignorance and immorality, worshipping idols, eating carrion, committing abominations, and breaking ties of kinship. The strong amongst us exploited the weak. Then Allah sent us a messenger from amongst ourselves, whose lineage, truthfulness, trustworthiness, and integrity we knew. He called us to Allah, to affirm His oneness, and to worship Him, and to cast away the stones and idols which we and our fathers used to worship. He commanded us to speak the truth, to fulfill our promises, to respect the ties of kinship, to be kind to our neighbors, to refrain from all forbidden things, and from shedding blood. He forbade us from indecencies, from speaking falsely, from consuming the property of an orphan, and from slandering chaste women. He commanded us to worship Allah alone, and not to associate anything with Him. And He enjoined upon us prayer, charity, and fasting. So, we believed in Him, and followed Him in what He brought from Allah. We worshipped Allah alone, and did not associate anything with Him. We held as forbidden what He forbade us, and held as lawful what He made lawful for us. But our people aggressed against us, tortured us, and tried to force us back to the worship of idols and to commit abominations. So, when they persecuted us, we fled to your country, O king, choosing you above others, desiring your protection, and hoping that we would not be wronged in your presence." Najashi, a devout Christian, heard the truth in Ja'far's words. He recognized the echoes of his own faith. the shared message of monotheism and righteous conduct. He then asked Ja'far to recite from the revelations given to Muhammad. Ja'far began to recite a passage from the Quran's chapter named after Mary. He spoke of her piety, of her miraculous conception, and of the moment she presented the infant Jesus to her people. He recited Jesus' own words from the cradle. "Indeed, I am the servant of Allah. He has given me the scripture and made me a prophet." As the words filled the court, King Najashi was deeply moved, and tears streamed down his face. He picked up a stick and drew a line in the dust. Then, with a voice full of conviction, he declared, "Indeed, this and what Jesus brought have come from the same niche of light. By God, I will never hand them over to you, and no harm shall come to them." Najashi's decision was monumental. He rejected the bribes, defied the powerful Quraysh, and chose justice and compassion over political expediency. He sent the Quraysh envoys away empty-handed, humiliated. For the Muslims, it was salvation. They found safety, protection, and the freedom to practice their faith in Abyssinia for several years. This refuge allowed Islam to survive its most vulnerable period, to grow stronger, until the time came for the Prophet Muhammad's own migration to Medina. King Najashi's courageous choice was more than just an act of kindness. It was a pivotal moment in history, a testament to the power of one individual to stand against injustice. His decision prevented a potential massacre, preserved the early Muslim community, and ensured the survival of a faith that would one day encompass a quarter of humanity. His legacy remains a beacon of interfaith understanding and the profound impact of a single, righteous choice. Thank you for watching. If you found this story inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on the pivotal moments that shaped our world.